Welcome to the holiday season. We know December gets busy, so this month we're sharing throwback episodes.
This is one of our most downloaded. Enjoy the episode.
Welcome to the Heal Yourself podcast, where we dive deep into all things healing. I'm Denise, a speech language pathologist and a self-love coach for adults and teens.
And I'm Kira, a traditional naturopath and functional nutritionist, and we are here to guide you through the transformative process of healing your body, mind, and soul.
From the latest in functional medicine to nurturing your relationship with yourself, healing trauma, and even transforming your money story, we're here to empower you with the knowledge and tools to create lasting change.
So whether you're looking to heal physically, emotionally, or spiritually, join us as we explore the many paths to wholeness and wellness. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the podcast. Today, Denise and I are joined by a guest. Yay, we love these. We have Jennie Hays with us. So welcome.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, we are excited to have you.
Yeah. So let me tell our audience a little bit about you, Jennie. So she is a certified Brainspotting practitioner who specializes in helping individuals release emotional blocks, limiting beliefs, and self-doubt that keep them from fully living. Amen to that. With over 2 decades in healthcare as a paramedic, Jennie combines her background in trauma with her expertise in brain spotting to guide clients through deep transformational healing. And her work helps people reclaim their clarity and confidence, allowing them to move forward with purpose, resilience, and a renewed sense of self. Awesome. I love your bio.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I have to admit that I am an AI fan. That's not the word that came to mind, but
Chat GPT all the way over here.
I love Chat GPT. And so I do get Chat to help me write things like that because, man, there's just too many things bouncing around and it helps to get things concise, you know?
We're with you on that.
Yeah.
So I think we love ChatGPT as well.
We do. There's a love-hate relationship.
Yes. Yeah. I argue with ChatGPT all the time. My husband laughs at me.
Yeah. Why don't you start by telling us, which I don't know if I want you to tell us our story. Maybe tell us a little bit first about how you got into brain spotting. And then for those that are like, what the heck is brain spotting? Maybe go there.
And that's me, because I don't know what brain spotting is.
And you're not alone, Denise. That's pretty common. Most people have no clue. The fact that Kira was ahead of the curve and had heard of it is unusual. So I didn't know what brain spotting was until a few years ago myself. Like I said, a paramedic, 911 for 10 years. And along my journey, I was diagnosed with insulin resistance and found out it's actually pretty easy to correct. Denise, I'm sure that you and Kira both know about that. Change your diet, change your lifestyle, and started doing that and had women follow along with me. And it was like, oh, this must be what I'm meant to do. I'm going to start coaching insulin resistance. Except that I didn't want to market. And you can't really run a business without marketing, you know?
We've learned that.
Yeah. So I kept taking these high-end courses and I'd get to the marketing part and it'd be like, oh, it must be something about the program or it just doesn't fit me or whatever. So in 5 years, I had made exactly $267, not counting what I'd spent.
I love that.
And my husband comes to me and he says, you've got to get a job. You know, I need help. And I cried and I kicked and I screamed. And I fell into an amazing job with a company that is it's a wonderful company. It's called Zennie. It's for therapists who are starting their practice or scaling. And I'm an accountability coach with them. And so they started noticing the same patterns in their therapists that had happened to me. You know, you get to a certain point in the program and then you just kind of fall off. And all of the traditional mindset techniques that we were using, you know, some people would get there, it would take them a long time, but some people just would disappear. And so they taught us all brain spotting because they had a coach come in that had done brain spotting. And I started seeing insane responses in these clients. The first person that I did it on, she just wanted to tell her family doctor that she'd opened her practice. And we had done so many different things. We'd spent months and months on this. And her physical was that afternoon. So I was like, let's just play. Let's try this because I'm really about playing, you know. And we did brain spotting on her. And she not only told her doctor, she called two other doctors that she sees and had a list of 25 people to reach out to. Well, now most people at this point, when they're seeing this kind of movement, would go, oh, I need to get some of that done. No, I wait. I wait about another year. And then it was like, I need to do some work on my own. And so I did some brain spotting and it was like, you know what? I need to build my business the way I'm built. And I figured out that podcasts, live events, this is where my marketing mojo is. Just do the things that I have fun with. And it was like, speaking of that, are you really having fun with the insulin resistance anymore? No, but you love brain spotting. So let's do that.
Mhm.
And so I officially opened my doors this summer. And that's how I ended up here. And I love it.
I love it. So tell us,
Wow.
what the heck is brain spotting?
I know. Tell us what the heck is brain spotting. I'm like, I don't want to chat GBT it before you say what it is.
No.
See?
So brain spotting is a cousin to EMDR. So many people have heard of that. It's a technique that's used a lot with PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder, and it uses a combination of the body and the eye movement to take memories that are stored in the body that are causing problems and store them long term. You know, process the memory and store it. Because our brain, so this for those two of you here who are anatomical, and probably a lot of your listeners, do not judge me on the anatomy. This is a picture. Take a cauliflower, cut it in half, and pretend like this is your brain. Okay? The florets are where we store our long-term memory. Okay? The pieces that are that are a little thicker, the stems that you don't never know whether to cut up or to throw away, that is standing in place for the lizard brain, the limbic system. Okay? And then in our case, the center is not going to be the brain stem. That's going to be the body. So when we have something happen to us, it comes in through the body. It comes in visually, sensations, sometimes taste, sounds. All of our senses pick this up. And it comes up and it comes to the limbic system. The limbic system kind of goes, is this something I need to hold on to here? Because it's going to kill me if either I try to process it and forget it, or if I don't recognize it in the future. If it's okay, it'll just stick it in long-term memory. So, you know, when you think about what shirt you wore last Thursday, you don't care about it really. It's just what color. Okay, great. If you remember it all. But when you think about something more traumatic, you feel it in your body, right? So what brain spotting does is basically these memories that are stuck in the limbic system, it comes in and it pops them open, scoops them out, cleans it out, and they're gone. They go into long-term memory and they're processed. It's done. So the results are insanely fast. Like one session, like I just told you about this therapist. The gentleman that created it is named David Grand, and he was actually doing EMDR on an ice skater. And he had been working with her for about 2 years, and she was having problems with this one jump. And it was a simple jump. I'm doing air quotes, not that you guys can see it. But it was a simple jump, and she was mastering much harder jumps. And she couldn't figure out why she couldn't do this. And so they've been working on it and working on it. Well, one day doing EMDR, in EMDR, you follow the hand motions back and forth. And Dr. Grand noticed when he got to a certain spot, her eyes started doing something weird. And so he thought, okay, I'm just going to stay there and let her focus. And it turns out that they uncovered a new memory. Apparently, when she was skating and learning that and practicing it, her mom had walked in the rink and told her and her dad that she was done and she was leaving them. And so there were a lot of tears cried, and she left that session, went to her regular practice, landed the jump. She'd
Wow.
been working on it for 2
Wow.
years.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you can see, but I'm like mouthing, I am loving this because this is I love this. This is like my jam, like the brain and the this and all of that. Like I love tapping, but wow.
Yeah, and tapping is wonderful. Tapping is great for in the moment. I have
Yeah.
found that. So I had some sudden onset claustrophobia. I'm not a claustrophobic person, but I was getting dressed one day and my shirt was like half on, half off, and I started panicking. I was like, crud. So bad so that I was at a store and I was trying on a shirt and my husband fortunately there was with me because I got stuck and I was like my brain was going, you can just cut it off, you can just tear it. It's okay. And I couldn't do it because I was in such a panic mode. And he had to come help me in the dressing room in the store. But I used tapping to move that out, but it only stayed gone for about a year. And then I had to repeat. And with brain spotting, I've never had to repeat for any of the stuff that I've done for clients, for myself.
Mm. So, I mean, to me, it sounds like you're moving emotions. You're moving these old beliefs that aren't serving you. Do you instill new beliefs?
I don't have to because you do. So
Mm.
when we're doing the session, there's this magic point. So when you start a session, some people have said it feels like all I'm doing is complaining. It was like, it's okay. Just let the things come out. It's all right. As we follow the emotion in the body, we get to this point where there's this aha, this moment of clarity. And oftentimes it's very simple, but it completes the circle or completes the memory so that then they know the truth after. I had one person who um, he was really struggling with just organization in his life, organization. He just couldn't move toward any of his goals because he was always worried about the paperwork and the house being a mess and all of these things. Doesn't sound like life changing stuff for a lot of people, but it can be. And so we brain spotted, and his realization was if I fall down, I can get back up again. It's okay for me to start fixing something, and if it doesn't work, just do it again. So I don't have to replace it. The replacement's already there. It's just waiting.
Makes sense.
Yes, it does, because it does remind me, because I do listen to I am reading the Course in Miracles, but it's pretty intense book. So I also listen to lectures about it. And Marianne Williamson, when she is lecturing about the Course in Miracles, she always says when there's a problem, a solution is immediately, born. So,
Right.
or immediately is there. So and that reminds me of what you said, yes, because we do have the answers and we're always saying we have the answers. So I love that because yes, you do have the answers. It's just buried
Uh-huh.
underneath all
Right.
that like rubble.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I want to ask you a question if it's okay, Jenny. So is this something that you're doing in person or online? Because you mentioned like working with clients, so it will be nice
Mhm.
to hear, especially for our audience.
Yeah. She's pointing at herself. Now let's be honest here.
um, um,
Yeah, it is. I do it 100% online. Can it be done in person? Yes. I think the last time I looked, there are about 14,000 practitioners
Wow.
who do brain spotting in the world. So it's still relatively new, but they're out there. There's actually a few in Austin, which you'd mentioned
hmm.
that you were in the Austin area, that'll do things in person. I do it 100% online and get amazing results online. And it allows me to work from home. I've got 2 brand new puppies, 2 cats, 2 full-grown dogs, 3 chickens, and a husband who's very needy that I love very much, but it allows me to
You're
be able
so
to take care of
busy.
those
You're so
things.
busy.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell us, Jenny, how can emotional blocks from past experiences impact our well-being and our
Oh my
personal growth
goodness.
today?
Yeah.
So one of the things that I see on a regular basis is that we all have a goal. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be, going back to the insulin resistance, eating right, exercising. It could be building your business. It could be pursuing that college degree or something that, is important to you, or even just communicating the way that you feel to others. When those things block us, a lot of times we'll feel it in our body, right? And it'll stop us in our tracks. We'll procrastinate. That's a big sign that you've got a block. I did that myself with my website. I was helping people build their websites every day, and I put mine off for 18 months. But in that case, all I had to do was recognize, ooh, there's a block. What is it? Oh, I don't want to be seen. Well, that's just really stupid. Nobody's going to see this website for a few months anyway. I have to get my SEO up. So then I was able to do it. So people can move through blocks in all sorts of ways. But brain spotting is unique because it's so amazingly fast and long lasting.
I'm laughing because Denise has been working on a course and she's messaged me, why do I have these blocks? Why am I not doing it? So
I was literally thinking about it right now when you said that, because I
So
also
see?
I do the workshops in person, but then just doing it. Yeah.
that's another. Well, so what are
I
some,
need brain spotting. That's what you're
right?
saying, right?
Besides procrastination, though, are there other signs where someone has these blocks or these barriers?
hmm So again, laying the blame on the issue and rather than your piece of it, like I did with the courses, oh, I just need to learn more. I'm not ready because I'm not doing this. Um, Shrinking back from things. When your brain and your heart know that you're supposed to do something and you can't follow through no matter how hard you try. There's a difference between being an introvert and having blocks. And so that's one of the reasons that I always do a 30-minute intake before we do brain spotting to make sure that we're not dealing with something where you're trying to change who you fundamentally are, but you'll feel that maybe it's the frustration afterwards. It's like, man, I know I need to do this. I know I should be doing this, but I'm doing all this other stuff instead. Or why can't I just follow through? How come when this person comes up to me, I always say the same thing and it's not what I wanted to say? Why do I say yes when I just want to say no? Or why do I say no when I just really want to say yes?
Were you in my house today? 'Cause that was like me and my daughter. I'm like, I say no, but then she's such a like determined person, which is great.
Yeah.
However, she doesn't give up and she brings up research and all of the like the pros and the cons. Like
Ooh.
her text messages are never like just, they're like essays and essays. And I'm like, today I was about to cry. I'm like, oh, so I need you, Jenny. Oh my goodness.
I'm right here. I'm right here.
Are there any signs that you were gonna say and I interrupted you?
No, that it really the biggest thing that I look for before I brain spot somebody is I really like it if you can feel something in your body. Because the way that I think of it is the way that our brain is set up, it's to protect us, right? And it's almost like we have this big gate in there, and we have these little sentries that are sitting there guarding the gate. And a thought will come in like, Jenny, you are not lovable. Nobody loves you. There's no reason for you to do this. And it'll go to those little sentries and they'll go, hold on just a second. And they go in and they look through the files and they're like, ooh, we have proof. Not lovable. You were divorced. Your husband cheated on you. You had a boyfriend cheat on you. And they'll come back to that voice and they'll go, yep, 100% not lovable, but you feel in your body that there's something wrong. It doesn't feel good. And so when we can break that cycle, now you can break that cycle doing limiting beliefs exercises, sometimes the tapping because you're using those positive affirmations. Using positive affirmations when you're in a good mood. You never want to use them when you're in a bad mood because they won't work. But if we can just open the gate and tell the sentries, get out of there, I'm just going to go take that file and remove it, we don't have to worry about that feeling anymore.
Hmm. I'm curious because
Hmm.
I know for people, there's fear around the unknown, right? Like I'm also a trained hypnotherapist and I get messages all the
Yeah,
time of like, what is this? What are you going to make me do? So what does brain spotting look like with a client?
sure. So sometimes we will do a little bit. I mean, I'm not a trained hypnotherapist, so I can't do hypnotherapy, but we'll do a little bit of guided meditation to someone who is not really in their body to get them to where they can feel it. But usually we just jump right in. And what it is we will start off by talking about what you feel the block is, what you're thinking is causing the problem. I always laugh because sometimes people will come, well, I thought I'd work on this or maybe this. And I'm like, just pick one. And it usually ends up they're all connected anyway. And then once we do that, we'll start really kind of irritating it. I really like to get it up to about a 6 out of 10 on a severity scale if I can. And then we find your brain spot, and that's where the name comes in. So we store our memories in a 3D format. In fact, they just had a study that came out the other day talking about how you even store memory in your kidney cells. But if you want proof that you store memory 3D, think about the last time that you were stuck in traffic and you were late. And if you can connect to that emotion in your body, I just want you to look forward and then I want you to look all the way to your right, just your eyeballs, and then all the way to your left. And what you will notice is one side, you will feel more of that emotion, that feeling late, that, oh my gosh, I got to get there. And the other side, you'll feel less.
Oh my goodness. Oh
Isn't
my
that
goodness.
crazy?
I just did it with you and it is crazy.
So we use that. And so we find the spot that is most triggering for that emotion or that sensation. Unless it's so triggering, like if you're dealing with a really major issue, sometimes we'll find the spot that's least triggering and come in through the back door and it'll still work. But
Wow.
we'll usually
Is
find
it
the most.
normal that when I went to the left, it kind of like you feel the lessening, like
Mhm.
it goes like it's kind of like you're turning it down.
Right, right. It is. And it's not necessarily normal when you move to the left, but yet when you move away from the spot. Okay. Usually we have a brain spot for that issue, and then we will have a spot that is what's called a resource spot, which is the exact opposite of the sensation. Sometimes you'll bring in grandma, or you'll bring in a solution or that you want, or things like that. So yes,
Wow.
very normal and very freaky, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I just literally thought of traffic because I don't like
Yeah,
traffic.
traffic. Most people don't.
Wow.
That's why I use that.
I know. Or like or people driving really slowly and I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
like it is no.
Yep. So once
Uh
we find that brain spot,
yeah.
then we use that like an anchor. Okay. If it gets to be too much, you can always look away, but we use that to hold that emotion, that feeling. And then we just start listening. We listen to the body, we don't overanalyze. And some people like to talk a lot, some people are quiet. I had one person who turned around completely and faced the other direction because she felt her brain spot was behind her and did the whole session that way. It's very independent on how it goes from there. But like I said, usually it's negative, negative, negative realization, and then there's a lightness afterwards. I will never leave you in the dark.
I see.
Yeah. I've only had 3 people total that did not get major results, from it.
Hmm.
One person It was a man, and we were talking about ED, and he was embarrassed. And I wasn't clear on the fact that he could just turn off the microphone because I don't have to hear the words. And so he was too embarrassed to actually go through the process with me. I had one person who almost the first thing she said after we started was she was suicidal, and I was like, "Whoop, stop, hit the
Yeah,
brakes. We're going to get your therapist on the phone right now." And then she and I have continued working with multiple sessions after to deal with some of the issues while she's getting that higher level
I
care.
see. Okay.
Yeah. Um, and then I have one other person that was fighting it for a couple sessions. And then the third session, she was like, she really let it happen.
Okay.
And she just had a beautiful experience. Oh my
I
goodness.
was about to
We're all
ask
in there
you.
with her.
Yeah, I was about to ask you, does it usually happen in one session or do people need several sessions? And does it depend on their trauma as well?
It
Have you
it
found that?
does.
Okay.
It does. Now, I am not dealing usually with higher level traumas. I'm not dealing with, our guys that have come back from overseas and, dealt with war trauma or, really tough SA trauma. You can fall into those, and then one session will move you a long way. But they did a study on those really heavy, big traumas. And for EMDR, which is the gold standard, it takes 60 to 90 sessions to clear those. But for brain spotting, it takes 16 to 30.
Oh,
So
wow.
about
Okay.
a third of the amount of time. But that's not really my market unless I fall into it.
Okay.
Because usually those people are going to seek out a therapist.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Because there's probably,
Other things
even
going
more. Yeah. Yeah.
on. Mhm.
And I'm sure Kira and I love, love, love practical tips. Love them.
Yes.
So, someone listening in, what are some practical tips that people can use to start identifying and releasing their own emotional blocks? Just like something that they can do at home.
So I've got a couple things I'll share. One of them is the first thing is to start getting in touch with your body. For those of us who are already in touch with our body, stop and pay attention when you're doing something and you get that feeling. Pay attention to where it is and just recognize it. That's a huge step. For people who are not in touch with your body and are going, what the is she talking about? One of the best things you can do is spend a little bit of time just feeling your body. So maybe it's in the morning when you wake up and just take time to go, okay, I'm feeling the breeze from the fan on my face and just feel it. I can feel the bed underneath me. I can feel the sheets as they're laying on top of me. And doing this on a regular basis is really going to help open you up to feeling your body. When we don't feel what's going on with an event that's happening in our life, it is much more likely to get stuck in that limbic system and not be processed all the way. But if you will feel what you feel at the moment, you're much more likely to store it in long-term memory and not have to revisit it.
Yeah. No, I love that. And again, also, I love how you said just to start getting used to it, whether in the morning or so, not doing intense emotions, kind of like take the
Right.
time to doing it when you're calm, when you're or waking up, or when you're going to sleep, maybe. I mean, I don't know, or like
Right. Yeah.
when you're not, because when we have a lot of emotions, like, maybe it's not a right way to right time.
That's not
Just
where you
yeah.
start.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't start exercising by running a marathon, right? And so if we can start to feel emotion a little at a time, then eventually we're going to build that skill and we're going to need things like brain spotting less
Yeah.
because we're storing our memories.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Any other tips?
The other one that I wanted to mention was we were talking about those sentries at the gate. What do you do if you don't have access to brain spotting? You can't afford a session. Um, so there is a longer method that you can use. And this is the one that I used for many years before I found brain spotting. So when you take that voice, because we hear those voices about, well, I say what, 70% of us have that voice in our head and it's negative and we're feeling that yuck. You take that to the centuries and you say, um, I'm hearing that I'm not lovable. And they find the proof. They're like, yep, you're not lovable. And then you go, wait a minute. I feel negative in my body. That means it's not true. That means there's
Mm.
a different truth. So what is the truth? And identify it. Well, the truth is I am lovable. But that's not enough. You have
Okay.
to then supply proof. So how do I know I'm lovable? Well, I've been married for 15 years to my soulmate who would, walk to the ends of the earth for me.
Mm.
I'm a practicing Christian, so I believe that God loves me just the way I
Yes,
am and created me that way. I've got my stepchildren who adore me and they love me. I have my grandbabies. I have friends. I have people who reach out to me on a regular basis
I
that
love
want to
that.
work with me continually. And so you provide all of this proof to
Yeah,
the centuries and you basically give them a new file. And it takes them a while to reference it. So you have to do this on a regular basis.
I
And
see.
eventually you're basically creating a new neural pathway
Okay.
to send them over to the other file instead of the one with all the negative stuff that you've stored over the years.
That's awesome. I love that because we're constantly, Kira and I are constantly telling listeners, to find the evidence, to find the proof.
Hmm.
And I love how you mentioned that yes, so brain spotting is the shortcut.
Hmm.
However, yes, you can get it done.
Yeah.
It will require consistency though, in order to build a new file because it didn't just, the other file didn't just get built in 2 seconds, right? It took
No.
a long time. So yeah, I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else? Oh my goodness, I feel this is so cool. I know Kira knew about it, but I didn't. And I know that she's having some technical difficulties. So listeners, you'll hear her at the beginning and hear me at the end. But you know what? This is how it is. This is life. And also
Right.
sometimes I can't get on with her. She interviews guests on her own. So yeah, we're rolling with it. Is there anything else, Jenny, that you want someone, like maybe listening to know, or is there something that we didn't talk about?
Brain spotting is not going to make things worse. So that's something that people that worry about. They're like, "Oh, is this going to cause more problems or is it safe?" It's definitely safe. You are in control at all times. It's different than hypnosis in the fact that there is no trance state to it. Not that hypnosis is not safe. I love hypnosis. But
I know I love hypnosis, and I know that
yeah,
Kira is a yeah. No, I love hypnosis. I don't on myself or I listen, but yeah, no,
yeah.
I see what you're saying though. Yeah,
Yeah. So you're in complete control. You can stop it at any point. And also when I do my consult, so I do give a free consult, it is not a sales call because my job is not to sell you brain spotting. My job is to see if it's something that will help you and then help you decide if it's worth it for you or not. I believe everybody in the world should have it because it's done so much for me and my clients, but that doesn't mean that you have to have brain spotting. So feel free. I really want you to take advantage of the free consults and not feel like, oh my gosh, I'm calling someone who's going to push this down my throat. Because there may be something else like the centuries, like the limiting beliefs exercise, that'll be plenty for you. And you just need to talk to somebody and say, this is my issue.
yeah.
Can you help me figure out a solution?
I love that. No, I love that. And I really love that you mentioned that because some people are, and that there's nothing wrong with the sales call. Absolutely not. It's just, I'm very happy that you're transparent about this.
Yeah.
And so yeah, thank you so much. And we're going to have all of your social media handles, ready in the show notes. However, where can they find you? What are some things maybe they can message you on Facebook? How can they book the free consultation? I know we're going to mention all of that, but I would love, the listeners to hear them from you.
Yeah. So Jennie Health Solution is my handle on Facebook. You can message me there. You'll see I don't know if I changed it to Jennie Hays or if it's still Jennifer Earl Hayes with my, because we always have our high school names on there, right?
Yeah.
But you can send me an email directly, Jennie with an IE, JENNIE at Jennie Hays, HAYS.com. You can check out my website, which is jenniehays.com. But yeah, I'm available, and all I want you to do is succeed. That's my
Yes.
whole.
Thank you. Thank you so much for getting on and for enduring some technical difficulties.
Life
And
happens.
life does happen. So we're going to have everything ready for you if you are interested in learning more about what Jennie does. As usual, please make sure that you leave us a feedback, rate the podcast, send us your questions, share it with at least one friend who might benefit. Because you never know, they may not have heard about brain spotting and they need it. So thank you, and you'll hear us next time.
All right. Sounds amazing.
Before you go, we just reopened our retired programs, the ones that changed so many lives. If you're ready for deeper healing work to pair with the podcast, this bundle is your next step.
These 3 programs were originally valued at $700, and now we've bundled them for just $97, over 85% off. It gives you real tools to support your body, calm your nervous system, and move forward on your healing path. The link is in the show notes.